it's their transition from, let's say, Indiana. That's who we're getting. And the people who are here naturally are going to want to do what? Leave home. They're supposed to do that. But we're also attracting the families from other cities here. So it's a bit of an exchange, right? We're not always losing, we're gaining as well. And so if their life experience, their day-to-day, they have a nice apartment, right? We're building apartments on Beach Street area. We're building affordable apartments as well, which we can talk about affordability. We're building. We're trying to bring these products here, mixed-use houses, right? Market rate, some not market rate, all over the city. That is, we need to be able to provide that. And that is a huge challenge, not just in Daytona Beach. I was just in a meeting with about 12 to 15 other elected officials from across Florida, and we were dealing with affordable housing issues. And it's a challenge for everybody. But we're ahead, meaning we're actually doing quite a bit right now to entice people to stay. I mean, wouldn't you like to stay?
outset, I've reviewed and approved the February 13th, March 1st, and April 9th, 2024 minutes. Do we have any announcements before I proceed?
No, sir.
Pardon?
No, sir.
No announcements. All right, well, those representatives from the city of Daytona Beach who will be testifying at this morning's proceedings, please stand and be sworn.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Thank you.
All right, we have one case we're going to have to take out of order, so let's go to case number 21. Sussmans Incorporated.
Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that.
Not a problem. Okay, bear with me one second here.
Go ahead.
Okay, we are here. This matter's been continued from the April meeting for a progress report to establish a compliance date. And we were supposed to have permits by May 8th. Counsel, you here for Sussmans?
Son, but yes. Sir.
Son.
Yes.
Close enough. Well, you'll have to be sworn. If you would be sworn, give us your name and be sworn by our secretary.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess you're going to give me a progress report.
So ultimately, all the things that were on the initial report have been taken care of to completion, except one, which was a separate, distinct storage, unoccupied building for, as I think we mentioned last time, a building that and business that has been closed for a while. We've tried for numerous attempts through a roofing company that had done a lot of the other work for other things, gutters, et cetera, was done. And as I showed Mr. Alderman, I have a text chain of probably close to 100 messages. They did not come through on the permit as requested. We did also at the suggestion of Mr. Alderman reach out to other roofing companies, which we did, and we hope to have that permit secured in the next, hopefully 2 weeks, but certainly within 30 days.
Okay, what say the city?
Yes, sir. This case was first notified January 23 of 2024. There has been contact. It is not occupied, and there has been progress. Staff is requesting a fine of $100 per day to a cap of $20,000.
Okay. You're telling me all that's left to be done is this roof,
Correct, sir.
and you haven't been able to get a roofer?
I haven't one that followed through. Certainly I had a roofer and they've been out there, but they did not secure the permit as promised. As I said, and I offered to show Mr. Alderman my phone, the messages will be out there, it'll be done. I even came here to see if it had been done, which hasn't. But when I met with Mr. Alderman a couple days ago, he suggested just get a new roofing company. We did, they've come out, and so hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll have secured a permit. for
Okay,
that.
Mr. Alderman, have these other matters been attended to that are in the notice of violation?
Yes, sir.
So we have compliance with everything except for whatever is, am I correct in saying we have compliance on everything but this roof?
The accessory structure, yes.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to amend our current order to require you to now have your permits by June 11, 2024. Now make that June 5, 2024, and you will return here for a progress report on June 11, 2024. And hopefully at that point in time, you will have secured a roofing contractor to take care of the structure, and you will have obtained your permits, and we can talk about a compliance date. Please make sure you remain vigilant about getting that roofing contractor out there, because as soon as you ignore the matter or drop the ball, then we're going to be in another situation. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
again for the courtesy.
And just so the record's clear, Mr. Magistrate, we weren't seeking a fine in this proceeding because it wasn't ripe for fine. It did not have a compliance date.
Yes, sir. Case number 1, Betty Williams Prince. I said Betty Williams Prince. I assume that's this young lady.
State your name for the record. State your name for the record.
Betty William Prince.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Do you agree this violation existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Yes.
Then I find the respondent in noncompliance. Mr. Inspector, how much time should reasonably be required for the respondent to come into compliance?
Next cutoff, sir.
Next cutoff, Ms. Prince, is June 5, 2024. Can you have this matter fixed by then?
Yes.
Okay. Then I will order the respondent to come into compliance by June 5, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Now, this looks like an extensive job.
A lot of it has been completed.
Great.
Yes, sir.
That's good news then. All right, well, if you're coming up short on your time, let your inspector know what's going on.
Okay.
And then if you run out of time, and he tells me that, he will be your best friend.
Okay.
So just keep him informed as to what's going on.
Thank you.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Case number 2, Wexford Separate Property Trust, dated September 24, 2021. Maria Luisa Migalas as trustee.
Morning.
Good morning. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
Anthony Vasquez.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
I'm sorry, your name again?
Anthony Vasquez. I'm a trustee of the trust.
Yes, sir. Okay, do you agree this violation existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Yes, sir.
Then I find the respondent in noncompliance. Madam Inspector, how much time should reasonably be required for the respondent to come into compliance?
Next cutoff.
Next cutoff is June 5, 2024. What say the respondent?
That'd be fine. I have printed out text messages from the contractor who's been on vacation. We pulled 2 initial permits. One was a door and window inspection that was completed back in January 23rd. And the demolition, we have 2 units left. It's a 22-unit building. We have 2 units left that still have tenants in it that we're waiting to do the demolition on, because we're doing a complete remodel on the whole building. And that's why he hasn't called for the final inspection. But according to his text message, he's back in town today, and he'll be making the appropriate scheduling for inspections and updating the permit.
Very good. All right, based upon what I've heard, I'll order the respondent to come into compliance by June 5, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Good luck.
Thank you.
Case number 3, Delmar Holdings LLC. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
Good morning, Inspector Bostwick, credentials on file. All right, this was a citizen's complaint. Case was opened back on December 11th of 2023. What we have is exposed concrete slabs, bricks, pipes, trash, and debris on the beach side of the vacant lot. First notification was on December 20th of 2023. Compliance was due by January 19th. Last day of reinspection was May 10th. With non-compliance, I've been in contact with with a representative. Staff requests a final non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Does this property have a seawall left?
It has a partial seawall.
Partial seawall, but in
Right
any
there.
event, you observed their trash on the beach side, as I understood what you just said, meaning beyond the boundary of the seawall.
Beyond the high water mark coming in, going into the property.
10-4. All right, noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent to be in noncompliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by June 5, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 4, Ernestine Johnson. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
This is a citizen's complaint opened on February 27th of 2024, overgrown vacant lot with trash and debris. First notification was on March 14th of 2024. Compliance was due by March 25th. The last day of reinspection was on March 13th. Result, non-compliance. There's been no contact from the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
All right, noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of the inspector and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by June 5, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 5, Philip Guillaume. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent, what say the city?
All right, this was a citizen's complaint. Case was opened back on April 4th of 2024, overgrown vacant lot. First notification was on April 8th. Compliance was due by April 18th. The last day of reinspection was on May 13th. Result, non-compliance. There's been no contact from the owner. Staff requests a finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony and the photographs presented, I find the respondent in non-compliance and order the respondent to come into compliance by June 5, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 6, Nitu Enterprises, LLC. Anyone here for the respondent?
Somebody may be on Zoom, maybe. Yep.
Yes, sir. Are you here on behalf of Nitu Enterprises, LLC?
Yes, sir. My name is James Nitu. I'm the owner.
Okay. We need a little more volume here from somewhere.
Try my side here, sir.
There you
Is that
go.
better? I'll
Would
speak
please
louder.
state your name and be sworn by our secretary.
James Alexander Nitu.
Raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Do you agree these violations existed or occurred as stated in the notice of violation?
Yes, sir.
All right, I find the respondent in non-compliance. Mr. Inspector, how much time should reasonably be required for the respondent to come into compliance?
Next cutoff.
The inspector seems to think you ought to be able to have this taken care of by June 5th. What say you to that?
I say that you and the inspector have been more than fair thus far, and I'm sorry it hasn't been done. I think that's great. I have some items for sale, and I'm just financially a little hard-shipped. So June 5th, that would be great. I appreciate anything, Honor. Anything you say works.
All right, very good. All right, then I will, having found the respondent in non-compliance, I will order the respondent to come into compliance by June 5, 2024, or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. All right, good luck to you. If you're running short on that time, call your inspector and let him know what's going on, because, and we'll take
Yes,
that
sir.
into consideration. If you just ghost us, then you're in trouble.
Honestly, sir,
Good luck to you.
sir, honestly, I came up there and hurt. Thank you. Have a great one.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Case number 7, the seventh.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. The Seventh-day Baptist Church of Daytona Beach Incorporated. Anyone here for the respondent? Okay, what say the city?
Mark Jones, a field supervisor for the city of Daytona Beach. My credentials are on file. This case was opened on October 13th for operating a food pantry, which is prohibited as an accessory structure or principal use to a place of worship in a redevelopment area. I witnessed this violation on October 13th, 2023, and issued their first notice was posted with compliance due October 14th, 2023. During my site visits on October 18th, 2023, October 25th, 2023, and November 1st, 2023, the property was still in non-compliance and I witnessed that it was open. On November 8th, the property had, 2023, the property had a sign out front stating the food pantry was closed, and further inspections on the property and the food pantry has remained closed. I was there on May 8th, and the sign is still there. Staff is recommending a finding of non-compliance with compliance with a will fine.
Okay, whatever happened to Chobe Evans?
Ms. Ebbett still represents the respondent. He notified me yesterday that he would not be coming to the proceeding because they had initiated the lawsuit, which I mentioned last month, and they were seeking time, and the city has since filed to remove it to the federal court, I believe it is. So, but this is the status of the case, and and we don't see any reason not to proceed.
And what now?
I say this is the status of the case. We don't see any reason not to proceed with the
There's no reason
finding.
not to proceed.
That's correct.
Okay. Okay. And what is the nature of the remaining non-compliance? That there's a sign out front?
The sign out front is that the food pantry is closed. They have continued to maintain it, close it once, as the inspector specified, once they had put up the sign saying it was closed, it has been closed. So we're just seeking a will find, finding of compliance, non-compliance, now in compliance. Whether or not they intend to try and open it or any of those things, we don't have those answers. And I may have misstated that. Mr. Ebbets has represented that they intended not to reopen until they have some kind of order giving them that authority.
And what is, in 25 words or less, what have they sued the city for?
They believe that that they should be allowed to have the pantry based in 25 words or less. They believe that they're not having equal treatment with other food pantries that may be in the city. We disagree with that position, and it's something that's been going on since 2012.
Are there regulations or ordinances governing food pantries?
Absolutely.
There are. Okay, well, I don't know. That's why I was wondering.
Yes, and
I
there's
guess
some.
it's your contention that they have not complied with that.
That's correct.
Very good. All right, that's all I need to know. Okay. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon our inspector's testimony, I find that the respondent was in noncompliance. I further find, based upon our inspector's testimony, that the respondent has since come into compliance. Nevertheless, I'm going to order that the respondent be returned to the special magistrate for a fine of up to $5,000 for each repeated violation in the future. Does that cover everything we need?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Case number 8, Jonathan Worsham III, Allison Worsham, Patrick Worsham. Okay, this matter is continued from the April meeting for the imposition of a fine. First off, Mr. Inspector, why did we continue this from the April meeting?
Can I?
Oh, I'm
swear in
sorry,
real
go
quick?
right ahead.
State your name for the record.
Allison Worsham.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Can anybody tell me why we, Mr. Inspector, can you tell me why we continued it from the April meeting?
We continued it from the April meeting because
The city planning department gave them to May 2nd to put in the plans for the project that they're doing on the property.
Okay, and has that happened?
It happened, but there's revisions that need to be redone to those plans.
Okay. All right. Respondent, where do we stand on this?
This is, clearly, they've been in contact, but the planning department hasn't given us the comments yet. So we didn't even know that there were revisions. I'm just finding out that there will be revisions. So they haven't responded to us yet.
All right, so what did we submit to the city?
Full set of plans, comments,
This is to the planning department.
yes, to the planning department. Everything that they requested from the
Okay,
engineer.
all right, you guys are way ahead of me. Slow down, let me catch up.
Okay.
So you submitted plans to the planning department for the purpose of what? As part of a application for a permit?
Yes, as far as, yep,
So the objective here is to what, get a building permit?
the building permit.
So, all right, I know I've already heard about revisions, but once you get through with the planning department, what happens? You have a permit, and then you plan on start remodeling or doing whatever it is you're doing?
Building, yes.
Okay. And I guess you've just heard that there are revisions to be made.
Just heard. We haven't even gotten a notice yet.
Okay. All right. And what is the relief the city's looking for right now?
The city's the property was first notified on June 9th of 2021. Since the last hearing, I've had no contact with the property owner. The city requested in prior hearings to remove everything from the property, and that wouldn't affect the planning permits or any of the projects that are happening on the property. They have not done that, and because there's been no movement in the direction of removing everything from the property, the city's requesting a $100 per day fine up to the maximum of $20,000.
What is on the property?
All the construction equipment, because they're using it as a construction yard. And until they have the permits and everything, it's supposed to be a vacant lot. Now, they've been using it, instead of removing items from the property, they've been adding more items and using it we've asked them to just remove everything from the property. They can continue with their plans, they can continue with their project, but, and that wouldn't affect the project in any way, shape, or form. And that would bring them into compliance by just removing everything.
What is on the property right now?
All of our, some construction materials that we're using for active jobs, inactive machines that we don't use on the job right now. There's some our vehicles, our construction trucks. And the reason why more stuff is being added to the property is because the city has doubled down on us and come to our residence where we park our trucks and violated our whole residence. So everything from the residence had to be moved to the yard.
Okay. You know, somehow or other when this saga started, I thought this was an accommodation to the respondent to allow them to do something with their property. I can't even remember what it was anymore. It goes so far back.
Mhm.
But the purpose of the zoning change, I think it was a zoning change. And the purpose of the zoning change was to ultimately facilitate restoration of the property or remodeling of the property to, I presume, accommodate whatever it is that you're trying to park there. Now, that started what, 3 years ago or something like that? And we are now framming around with plans. And in the interim, we have an ongoing violation that the city has tolerated, and quite frankly, I'm probably the cause for this cluster, you know what. That having been said, there is no telling when this construction is ever going to be done. I want next cutoff. That's June 5, 2024. I will work with the respondent because I feel as though I've been hand in hand with the respondent in assisting them in doing what they've done so far as trying to restore this property. But I'm not going to allow this violation to continue perpetually. And it looks as though that's where we're going. So, does removing the stuff that's on the lot bring them into compliance? Or do they need to build whatever it is they're planning on building to come into compliance?
If they remove everything from the property and bring it back to a vacant lot, then we will be in compliance.
Both of those options will bring us into compliance.
All right,
If the
now-
city would approve our plans.
What's that now?
If the city would go ahead and approve our plans, it's like they're working in hand to hand to keep us to keep holding up our plans so that they ultimately want us to just move
Okay.
everything. So they're working hand in hand and not
Before
approve.
I get too hasty, how much time would reasonably be required to get everything off that lot? And then you can take your sweet time, you and the city can take all the time in the world to do whatever it is you have in the way of construction plans for that property. How much time would it reasonably take to get everything off that lot?
To find somewhere for it to go, 60 days. We don't have anywhere for it to go. That is our construction storage lot. It's been that way for 20 years.
Well, yeah, and it's been that way for the last 3 years because of me primarily. Okay, and the city is overdue in getting this matter rectified. So, what was the amount of the fine you were looking for?
$100 per day.
I'm going to order that this property, and the only thing required to bring it into compliance is the removal of all the vehicles and all the other materials stored at that lot?
Everything that's on the lot needs to be removed.
Okay, so doing that constitutes compliance.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You understand what he's talking about?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to order the respondent to be in compliance by July 3, 2024. Failing that, a fine in the amount of $200 per day will go into effect and will continue each day thereafter until the amount of the fine has reached the sum of what?
$20,000.
$20,000. Okay. You've got your 60 days. She's going to bring it into compliance. She doesn't bring it into compliance, the fine that I just ordered goes into effect. We all good?
Yes, sir.
And in the meantime, from what I can see, I haven't done anything to impact your building plans as it stands right now. That's between you and the city. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. City Attorney, have I done anything wrong here?
No, not at all. I just wanted to make sure it was clear. You kind of implied having a hand going forward, but the case will be over once that the July date is reached. So we would not be bringing her back from after the July 3rd date.
Yes, sir.
Whether it's a fine imposed or her coming into compliance otherwise. I just wanted to make sure that was clarified.
It's clear as a bell now. Clear as can be. Okay, good luck, folks.
Thank you, sir.
Case 9, Fraulau Investments LLC.
Yes.
Yes, sir. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
Daniel Ballard?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
And your affiliation with how do you pronounce it?
Frollo. I'm a tenant.
You're a tenant.
Yeah.
Okay, so what authority do you have to make any commitments on behalf of the respondent?
The sign permit is under my lease, is my responsibility.
Okay.
That's where we're at.
All right, we good, Mr. City Attorney?
Is that our status?
Yes.
Madam?
Yes, since the last hearing is...
Wait, don't
okay.
go into it. Yes.
Okay.
No, we're good. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay. All right, we're here for the imposition of a fine, so let's hear from our inspector.
Since the last hearing, Mr. Ballard has completed the BTR process and is now working with permitting on the sign permit. So that's the only thing holding him up now, is just having the sign completed.
Okay, and what, if any, relief is the city looking for?
We're recommending noncompliance with compliance at the next cutoff.
Okay. It looks as though the city is at least somewhat satisfied with the efforts. So what remains to be done, and how much time you think it's going to take you to do it?
I'm going to get a licensed contractor to pull the permit. I've already done everything else, all the list of 5 categories that they require. And my landlord has to sign a piece of paper that allows, it says he's allowing the sign to be erected. So he's on vacation back tomorrow. We should be able to pull that this week. But the permit office told me it takes them about 3 weeks to do that. So we're a little close to this cutoff line of June 5th. I don't know if you're able to extend it or just we're not there.
Okay, so what remains to be done? Just the installation of the sign itself?
Yes, sir.
Is this a new sign, or is it just copy that we're adding?
No, it's just a copy change.
Just a copy
It's just a
change.
peel and stick sign on each side.
And we've
lit
done
up.
everything else that was called for under the notice of violation?
Yes, sir.
All right, then I'm going to allow the respondent until July 3, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special, I'm going to amend our previous order of noncompliance to allow the respondent to July 3, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Good luck to you. You run into hiccups along the way, let her know what's going on.
Right, thank you.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Case number 10, Bat Development LLC. Anyone here for the respondent?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Since the last hearing, I have had contact with Mr. Hudson.
Mr. Who?
Mr. Hudson of Bat Development. I have had contact. There has been progress. The permit for the fence was finalized on April 12th of 2024, and the rental license is currently under review. So I'd like to ask to amend to the next cutoff for compliance.
All right, based upon our inspector's report, I will amend our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until June 5, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Thank you. You're here for the next one. Faith Temple Church of God. Anyone here for the respondent? Not seeing a respondent. What say the city?
Okay. Since the last hearing, I haven't had any contact. However, there has been progress. The demo permit was issued on May 8th, 2024. So staff would like to ask to amend to the next cutoff for compliance.
Okay, what happened on May 8th?
The demo permit was issued.
All right, based upon the report of our inspector, I'm going to amend our current amended order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until June 5, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Case number 12, Elephant Group Hotel 7 Incorporated. Gentlemen, if you would please state your names and be sworn.
I'm sorry, say your name again, sir? Tim Work. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, your name again?
Menachem Friedman.
Breedman?
Friedman.
Friedman. All right, this matter is here for the imposition of a fine. What say the inspector?
Good morning, John Stinson, Code Inspector of the City. Qualifications are on file. As of yesterday, my last inspection of the property, there has been quite a bit of progress on the exterior of the property. Sidewalks and driveways have been corrected. The exterior walls, windows, opening windows, screens and exterior doors have been replaced or repaired. The exterior has been painted. The walls have all been repaired, and the majority of the issues that remain are all on the interior units. And that is the progress as of yesterday morning. And the city is asking for the imposition of a fine of $100 per day, to be capped at 25.
All right, based on what you see that's left to be done, how much time do you think would reasonably be required to wrap it up?
60 days.
Is this a single unit we're dealing with?
No, sir. It's a
Could I refer?
hotel,
Okay.
hotel, motel.
So give me some context here. Did they have to do this throughout the whole? What?
They've already
When you
begun.
tell me walls and what have you are done, does that mean throughout the whole?
The entire exterior structure itself has been completed. All the repairs have been made. The paint has been done. Now they're basically on the interior units, the individual units themselves. They have, I believe it was 6 out of 10 units that are currently occupied, and the other 4 are currently being restored, remodeled.
Okay. Okay, what say the respondent?
So first of all, we're not seeing any of the good photos from yesterday, but we've made tremendous progress. And to refresh your memory, you were very generous to give us a lot of time. We had a problem where we had to evict everybody and clean it up. You've mentioned once that this property was an eyesore, and we've taken away the public hazard. We've taken away the public eyesore, and we have just tremendously put all our efforts on just the appearance of the property. We've gotten tremendous compliments from the neighbors, and we've just been working unit at a time. Like the inspector mentioned, we've gotten 6 of them finished. We are down to our
So
last.
6 occupied units are finished?
Completely finished. This
So you
is
got 4 left?
correct.
How
Yeah.
much time's needed to finish the job?
I think.
Pardon?
Well, he offered 60 days, so don't go.
Well, he didn't offer 60 days. That's not what he was suggesting. Okay, it does look much better, and I reward people. I'm talking too much today. I'm sure my attorney's going to tell me. But I appreciate the effort when people make a serious gesture as far as improving their properties. I'm going to amend our current cutoff to allow the respondent until July 3, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. And from what I can see, yes, it looks 1,000% better, and the city appreciates the effort. Good luck to you.
Is there?
Case 13, Virgil and Ellen Rosenfeld Family Trust, dated June 22, 2005. Yes, sir. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
My name is Daniel Rice.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right. I have this matter being here for a progress report and to set a compliance date. Which of you two gentlemen is going to do that for me? Mr. Rice, you're on.
We had the back wall falling down. We had the driveway crumbling on the one edge, and we didn't have our BTR. The BTR was actually applied for and paid for it, but until we get the back wall fixed, they're not going to issue it. So the problem with the back wall was the roof. We replaced the roof so it wouldn't leak into the back wall. When we went to fix the back wall, we found that there was structural damage to the property. We had a
Where I'm seeing that tarp, is that the back wall you're talking
That's the
about?
back wall. That's it from the side. That's the back wall right there.
Okay.
And there's some more back behind that other sort of far picture where it's coming down. We moved the guy out of an apartment that you see the stairs going to another one of our buildings when we found we were going to have structural damage because we thought we were concerned we might punch through his wall. We applied for a permit for that. We had the engineering done on that, and we applied for a permit on that on the April 30th. We didn't provide the city enough information in the permit to suit their needs, so John Banks has been discussing with code downstairs what additional information they need to issue the permit. As soon as the permit is issued, the owner has bought into the repair. They tell us they have the money. We're ready to pull the trigger. We've got 2 estimates from outfits that do it. We're pretty sure which one we're going to take, so as soon as we get the permit, it'll just be a matter of getting a date and when we can get started. When we get the completion date on the wall, they need the driveway to access that. So when they get the completion date, when we get a completion date on the wall, then we'll know when we can pull a permit and get the start on the driveway.
So the driveway is the last thing to be done?
Yes, because they're going to need that driveway to access
And
that.
during the course of construction, our back wall collapsed.
The back wall, yeah, the back wall is the real problem.
So the back wall was not an issue when you started this?
Yes, it was.
It was an issue?
Yes, back wall was the initial issue.
Pardon?
The back wall was the initial issue.
The initial issue. Okay, so what's happened? The back wall's gotten worse?
No, we keep it covered with, it's not gotten any worse, it's never going to get any better.
So
It hasn't got any worse because
we need to fix the back wall before we can get to the driveway.
we think that's the wise
We
thing to
can't
do.
fix the back wall until we get a permit.
Right.
And we don't have a permit yet.
The permit was applied for April 30th, and there are changes being made to it. We didn't provide the city enough information to suit their needs, and John Banks Building Incorporated is working with them now to modify the permit so that they can issue us the permit. That's been
So
paid
how
for.
far do we estimate we are away from having a permit?
Well, I would hope within a week.
Within a week. Okay. And once we have the permit, how long is it going to take to do the repair to the back wall?
It depends on when the outfit can start it. It's a pretty good sized job. I'm not an expert on this, but my guess is if our crew did it, it'd take them several weeks. But I don't know, these guys are
Okay.
pros, so I have no
For
idea.
future reference, when the magistrate asks you how much time something's going to take, don't start your answer with, "It depends."
Okay.
So, now, let's give me a reasonable estimate as to how much time it should take to get that back wall fixed. Assuming you are reasonably diligent and riding your contractor to get the job done, because you don't want the property to be fined. That would be bad. So, how much time do we reasonably believe it would take to fix the back wall?
2 months.
Okay, 2 months. And the last thing to be done once the wall is fixed is just a driveway?
Yes.
Okay.
That's minor compared to the wall.
All right. Well, I hate to annoy you, but I'm going to require everybody return for the June 11 meeting because your progress report, and I mean no disrespect, is a little nebulous right now. So at the June 11th meeting, hopefully you will have that permit in hand. You can talk to your contractor about when you expect that back wall to be done. And then perhaps we can establish a compliance date. I don't know, because we haven't talked about how much time you're going to need to repair the driveway. But first things first, we've got to get the back wall attended to. So I'm going to order that you that this matter be returned to the put back on the June agenda for another progress report, and at that time, hopefully, to set a compliance date. Okay, now in the interim, are there any life safety concerns I need to know about or anything like that?
No, sir.
Okay. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
Good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Case number 14, Americano Beach Lodge Resort Condominium Association Incorporated.
State your name.
Brian Smith.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I will.
Thank you.
How old is the Americano?
You got me. 70s, maybe 60s.
Well, I know it was around when I was in high school, because a buddy
80s
of mine
then?
worked the pool
90s?
deck during the summertime. He used to have a lifeguard there by the name of James Purdy, who was a diver for Tennessee, who actually used to put on a diving exposition for the guests when he was working there during the summertime.
I believe it. It's got a really deep pool.
Been a while. And I jumped off that high dive a few times.
Did it have a high dive?
Anyway, I digress. What are we here on?
Inspector Kevin Yates, my credentials are on file. They were first notified February 19th, 2022. Since the last hearing, I've had contact in progress. They've been working towards finishing the work. I'd like to have them come back in August for a progress report.
Finish what work?
The other side of the retaining wall, if you keep going, right there, that still needs to be repaired, but they have completed the work on the side that was totally collapsed. So they've made a tremendous amount of progress.
So what are they doing? Prettying that one up?
Yes.
And what is it you're wanting? You just bring them back on August for a progress report?
Yes, and at that point, we should be able to figure out a compliance date.
What is the plan for this property?
Well, we're getting a variance for some site work, and I'm going to start renovating that first tower probably the first part of the year.
I mean, is it going to be a motel? Is it going to be a condominium, some combination thereof?
No, resort type, hotel, timeshare.
I believe
The other-
Weston owns it now, right? Is that
Westgate.
Right? Westgate, sorry, Westgate. So yeah, they do all those timeshares up in Orlando and stuff like that. So I'd expect a pretty similar property.
Yep.
And not to be rude, is it going to be open during my lifetime?
Hard to say, but yeah, that's the plan.
I mean, like within a year? Within 2 years?
No, I think, I mean, the plan is not to start until after New Year's. But yeah, it's probably 10 to 14 months of construction, roughly.
Isn't somebody in construction on the other side of you?
Yeah, there's a apartment complex. I think it's
Is that big box?
It looks like a big box from the road.
Yeah,
Mhm.
okay. No kudos to whatever architect was in that building.
It
That's
fills
for
the
darn
site, that's for certain. They didn't leave anything
And
not
I've got plenty of
constructed.
people wanting to know if there are any setbacks from sidewalks anymore in the city of Daytona Beach.
Not on that one.
I guess that's over my pay grade, in any event. I digressed again. Okay, we will continue this matter again to the August 13, 2024 meeting for another progress report and perhaps the determination of a compliance date. All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Case number 15, 2000 Atlantic LLC.
Alana Smith with Cobb Cole Law Firm, 1 Daytona Boulevard.
I'm sorry, did you say Alana?
Yeah, Alana Smith with Cobb Cole.
All right, we are here with regard to 2100 North Atlantic Avenue to impose a fine. All right, let's hear from our inspector. Mr. Inspector, what say the city?
All right, they were first notified February 22nd, 2022. Since the last hearing, we've had contact in progress. I would like to amend to the August cutoff to allow the work to be finalized. I think we should be done by then.
What is the work that's being finalized?
The seawall right there, they're doing the capstone right now. So the wall is up, they're just finishing out the wall.
Okay. Are those prefabricated pieces?
Yes. And they drop them down and bolt them together. That's how they're able to move so fast. You see from basically March to now, they've created an entire wall.
10-4. Okay, Counselor, so you suggested what, amending the current order of noncompliance to August 7th?
Yes, sir.
What say the respondent?
We're in agreement. We're on track for a June completion date, so we should be good with that.
Great. Okay, then, based on the inspector's report, I will, and the agreement of the respondent, we will amend our current amended order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until August 7, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Okay, you here for the next one too? All right, case number 16, 2000 Atlantic LLC. Mr. Yates, once again, matter is here for the imposition of a fine. What say the city?
They were first notified March 7, 2022. Since the last hearing, we've had contact in progress, and I would like to amend the August cutoff to allow the wall to be finalized.
Counselor, what say the respondent?
In agreement.
Once again, I will amend our current amended order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until August 7, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Okay, folks, good luck. Case number 17, Michael D. Eady and Julie A. Herbart Eady.
State your name for the record.
Michael Eady.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, I'm supposed to be getting a progress report and consider a compliance date. Who's giving me the progress report?
I am.
All right, Mr. Eady, what's up?
I spoke to Paula Long, and I included Mark in the email chain. He returned my phone call. We spoke about being in compliance, which I'm trying to do. What's holding me up is I'm trying to get permits to complete the fence project of what you're looking at there is the barrier wall that the fence is going to go on top of. But because that spare lot is a spare lot, I can't pull a permit for it. So I'm going through city planning now. I just received my first notice last week and had a Teams meeting with Paula Long to review the first review of the process of trying to merge these two lots together. The day that I get that permission to merge these lots, I will get the permits and complete this project, but my hands are tied until then, sir.
All right, so how much time are we looking at?
It was 30 plus days to get the first review done, and now she says it's in queue for another review. Realistically, this could go on for many months.
All right, well, I'm not going to give you a many months deadline.
I understand.
So it's kind of like that thing I said earlier about the it depends.
Yeah.
Let's put many months up there too. In any event, what's the next thing that's going to happen?
Getting permission or getting the lots merged, which is in
And
progress.
For that to happen, what has to happen that hasn't happened yet?
It has to be, planning department has to make that decision.
Okay, and it's in front of the planning department?
It is.
Okay, and if the planning department says, yes, you can merge those lots, then it's just a matter of figuring out how long it takes to finish your construction?
No, sir. Then it's just a matter of pulling the permit. The construction can be done in a weekend.
Gotcha.
I just cannot legally pull the permit until that lot is merged with the home next door.
Okay, so Mr. Inspector, does it sound as though we're going to have to wait until we hear from the planning department?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Feels like I'm kicking cans down the road today, but whatever. All right, with regard to case number 17, we will put this on the June 11, 2024 agenda for more of the same. A progress report, and hopefully maybe then we'll be able to set a compliance date.
Okay?
Can we go a little further, maybe August? Takes a while.
I doubt the respondent's going to object.
I concur with what Mark said, sir.
Very good. Then, based upon the stipulation of the parties, let me amend that to read that I will continue this matter to our August 13, 2024 meeting. And just for my benefit, when I read the minutes, it's because we're waiting to hear back from the planning department as to whether they're going to approve the merger of these two lots.
Correct.
Correct.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Case number 18, RE Equity Investment Group LLC and JJ Equity LLC. Morning, gentlemen. If you would,
Morning.
please state your names and be sworn.
My name is Joaquin Brito,
I'm sorry, can you spell that for me?
Joaquin,
Joaquin.
and last name Brito.
And your name?
I'm Jonathan Paulino.
Jonathan, what was your last name?
Paulino, Paulino.
Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, I have this matter is down for the imposition of a fine. What say our inspector?
Yes, sir. This first notification was July 7, 2023. This last hearing, I've had contact. The building is not occupied, and there has been progress. Staff request to amend to a cutoff date of November 6 and a progress report July 9 for the hearing.
Is that the old Hagen Black building? Or what was it?
I believe it was...
Funeral home, I know
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, and I'm sorry, what were you proposing?
Amend to a compliance date of November 6 and a progress report on July 9 hearing. July 9th. July, sorry.
Okay. What's going on at that property?
I'm still confused at why I'm here because when I got those fines, I had permits to remodel the building. So I got fines for no windows on a complete remodel that I'm doing in a building under development. So all these fines that I got, I don't know why I got because I have
I
permits
don't know
to
what
build
fines you're
everything.
talking about.
The one for the windows, the one that, all the fines that I got, that's why I'm here. It was in a development, a building that's been completely developed. So I have permits to do everything. So I don't know why I got fines for windows when I'm putting new windows in, and fines for everything that I got on a building that's being completely remodeled and developed, and I have permits for everything.
Okay, well, we'll talk about the fines another day because I don't know what you're talking about.
No, the code violations I'm talking about that I got.
Okay. Failure to remove all exterior trash and debris. I'm assuming that you have altered the purpose of a building that was already in non-compliance.
Correct.
So
We are here to impose a fine, but the construction far exceeds the original code.
Right.
So we are amending.
in other words, you took over a building that was already in non-compliance. That having been the case, and the city having filed a notice of violation, that brought that building within the jurisdiction of the special magistrate and the city of Daytona Beach. So I guess the best way I can describe it is you're kind of a building in flux right now. And until this property is in compliance, which means you can go back to doing those things if you want, or you can finish the new project that you imposed upon the property after you acquired it.
So when I bought the building, have no code violations.
Okay.
Took care of them.
And it was only the paint that I took care of, and those was closed. Right, and then when I got when I started the new plans that they got approved and pull permits, there was.
Are there any running fines on this?
No, sir.
Why am I talking about this?
How would they be any?
It was scheduled for, but we've changed it because of the scope of
Yeah.
progress.
Okay.
There's no fine.
Right.
We just believe
I'm not
that-
quite sure what your concerns are.
Okay.
Don't interrupt me. I'm not quite sure what your concerns are. I think you're just not understanding some of the administrative process. It looks as though you're on track to come into compliance, and that's all you need to do. So I'm not understanding what the angst is.
Mike, okay, so let me explain myself a little better. When I got the violations of, like, for example, the Windows violations, there was permit in place to develop the building and to put new windows. So when they gave me the violation for not having windows, for broken window, I had permits to replace the windows, the doors, everything. I just not know why I got the code violation in the first place, because I have permits in place.
Because just getting a permit in place doesn't mean it's in compliance. A permit's nothing more than a permission to bring it into compliance. It's not in compliance until the windows are done, approved, and even then, it's not in compliance until everything is brought into compliance. It's a process. In any event, let's get back to the business at hand here. Now, I have forgotten what you told me. You wanted until July 9th for something, and then compliance on everything in November.
Compliance date by November 6th, and a progress report July hearing.
Okay.
Now, their permit's been in current.
Okay.
It was actually extended for finals of the rough and framing, and then extended for the electrical plumbing and the partial roof. So each time they finished the rough end, their permit extended. So they're good until July, I believe it's August.
Sounds like your permits are good until August.
And Mr. Magistrate, if I can suggest, I don't know how much they've gotten with the inspector, but perhaps taking some time and sitting down with the inspector may help you get a little more understanding of where you stand right now.
Yeah,
I think you're reading a little too much into what you're reading here.
well, so some of these constructions is stages. So before I get to finish something, I have to pass all my rough inspections before I could finish, all those windows and stuff like that. So I don't know how many months can this construction takes to be finished, because every time I pass an inspection, sometimes the building department recommend for me to do something else before they give me a final on some of the matters. So I don't have a
We've been
set
passing
time.
the inspections accordingly, so I just think it's a waste of time.
All right, well, let me expedite this for you. Okay, I'm going to order that this matter be put back on my July 9, 2024 agenda for another progress report. From what I'm hearing, I'm not going to hold our inspector to it. Sounds as though your permits are good until August. Thought I heard that somewhere along the line.
They are.
I'm going to order that this property be in compliance by November 6, 2024, which is what the inspectors asked for. Failing that, a fine in the amount of $1,000 per day will go into effect and continue each day thereafter until the property is in compliance. Now, that is a good 4 months out. Now, if you run into hiccups along the way, because maybe a supplier doesn't do what he's supposed to do, maybe a sub doesn't show up, maybe you've got to extend a permit, I don't know what it may be. All I'm telling you is keep your inspector informed as to what's going on. And if you can't be in compliance by November because of circumstances beyond your control, then I will take that into consideration. If, on the other hand, you disappear on us, or all of a sudden work stops, or it starts slowing down dramatically, then you will hear from us. 10-4?
Yeah, I don't think by in 4 months this building is going to be done. I think it's a year before this building is going to be completed.
You may be right. And so all you
development.
need to do is educate your inspector, ask to get put back. That's why we're having a progress report in July.
Fine, he can't do that.
You can let me know where you stand in July. And if you and he appear to be on the same page, then I couldn't care less. 10-4?
One clarification.
Yeah.
You basically stated it as an auto fine. I don't know if that's what you intended for the November date.
No, I thought I just said, failing that, if I said an auto fine, that I misspoke. Let me rephrase it. The property will be in compliance by November 6, 2024. Failing that, a fine in the amount of $1,000 per day will go into effect, or the respondent, you're shaking your head. What am I doing
That's
wrong?
an auto fine. If they're not in compliance by the 6th,
Oh,
you
I'm
want them
sorry,
to come
I'm sorry,
back
I'm
on June
sorry.
11th for the
I'm sorry.
possibility.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay.
Properties to be in compliance by November 6, 2024. Failing that, the respondent will be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Okay, now, so keep doing what you're doing. Keep your inspector posted as to progress. More importantly, keep your inspector posted as to any problems arise that are slowing you down, so we have a record of that for us to take into consideration if and when the need arises. Okay?
Sounds good.
Good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yep.
Case number 19, Daytona Ridgewood, LLC. Not seeing a respondent. What say the city?
First notification was August 3, 2023. There has been no contact. The business is occupied, and there has been no progress. Staff requests a fine of $100 per day to a cap of $25,000.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, if you would please state your name.
My name's Christia Hoffman. I'm an attorney. I represent the tenant.
Okay.
So the repairs are taking a little longer than we expect, but we've been making progress. Both the landscaping and the trash violations have been resolved since we've been noticed, and my client's working on the remaining violations, which is namely the electrical wires, which we've hired a third-party company to do. And then the landlord is going to take care of the parking lot repairs and exterior paint. They have bids on that. They were just waiting for the other work to be done. So we do have a plan to cover the remaining issues.
Okay. Who are you here on behalf of?
Daytona Ridgewood,
Okay. And is Daytona Ridgewood the owner?
the tenant.
Daytona Ridgewood is the tenant.
Well, Family Dollar is the tenant under Daytona Ridgewood.
All right. Mr. Inspector, did I understand you to say there had been no work done?
None.
All right. Our inspector is telling me no work has been done.
I believe the landscaping and trash violations were resolved.
Okay. First off, I'm not hearing her all that well. What did she say?
I apologize.
You just have a bit of an echo in your office there that makes it hard to hear you.
I'm sorry, is that better?
That's much better.
Okay. I just said that I believe the landscaping and trash issues were resolved.
All right.
Is that
Give us a second.
okay?
After my site inspection, comparing it with the initial or the original inspector's list of notice of violations, the landscaping, if that's what they're saying has been done, there's a ditch between that and the adjoining property, and that is covered with trash debris. The light pole is still tipping. The wires were still there when I was there, so unless something has happened in that short period of time, nothing has happened.
And when were you there?
I believe it was April. No, I was there soon. Hold on a minute. It was
Photo says April 24th, is that correct?
correct.
Okay. So when did all this work take place? Because we have photographs as recent as April 24th that indicate work not being done.
Yes, I am seeing that, Your Honor, and I will have to talk to my client.
All right. What's the relief the city's been looking for now?
$100 per day to a cap of $25,000.
What is left to be done here? We have a long list of matters. Has anything been attended to?
No, sir.
Nothing's been attended.
No, sir.
Counselor, is this your first appearance in this matter?
I did appear once before, Your Honor. But yes, I'm relatively new to the situation.
All right, Mr. Inspector, how much time should it take to bring these matters into compliance as you observed last time you were on the property?
Next cutoff.
Okay. And the amount of the fine you were looking for was how much?
It was $100 a day to a cap of 25.
All right, I'm going to order the respondent to have the property in compliance by June 5, 2024. Failing that, a fine in the amount of $100 per day will automatically go into effect and will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the property is in compliance or the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $25,000. So I'm giving your client another approximate 30 days to bring it into compliance. They won't be seeing me again. A fine will just automatically go into effect. And be sure to remind them that once they bring it into compliance, they need to call for a final inspection, because if there's not a notice of compliance put into this file, then that fine is going to continue to accrue each day thereafter. All right?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Case number 20, 901 6th Street, Daytona, LLC. Anyone here for the respondent?
First notification was January 19th, 2024. There has been contact. It is occupied, and there has been no progress. Staff requests a fine of $100 a day to a cap of $30,000 based upon
Cap of what?
Cap of $30,000. That's the old newspaper for the city of Daytona.
Okay.
And I have had contact with the owner, the contractor, and the labor crew. All of them are very well aware of. All I have to do is get a final, but nobody's responded.
Okay. Noting the absence of the respondent, based upon the testimony of our inspector and the photographs presented, I'm going to fine the respondent the sum of $100 per day, commencing May 9, 2024, and that fine will continue to accrue each day thereafter until the property is in compliance or the amount of the fine has reached the sum of $30,000. Case number 21, we've already done. Case number 22, Masonova Daytona, LLC. Not seeing a respondent. What say the city?
There has to be somebody on.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have someone here via Zoom. Yes, sir. If you would please state your name and be sworn.
Ephraim Brody. My contractor is also on.
State your name, sir.
Ephraim Brody.
Daniel Parker? Okay.
The contractor.
Daniel Parker.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Brody?
Yes.
All right. Which one of you is here on behalf of Masonova Daytona?
All of us, sir. I'm the contractor.
Who's the owner? Mr. Brody?
Yes.
All right. I guess I'll direct this to the two of you. Do we have the permits that we were supposed to have?
No, Your Honor. We submitted an electrical permit. It's in review at the moment. I had a hard time finding a contractor that was going to work up there for my crew, so I finally got a local person to be there. They submitted the permits, but it's not approved yet.
They submitted the permit application, you mean?
That's correct. In the plans that we have a comment that the engineers are reviewing right now, and hopefully we can get that resolved. I'm hoping this week.
Okay.
Depending on the permit process. We also take care of a code compliance painting the back wall, which is almost 600 feet. We did that, I believe, 2 weeks ago or a week ago. That backed up. We took care of that. That's it. We're just waiting for this permit to come out so we can at least move forward on something.
All right. Well, I mean, did we fix the potholes?
Potholes, no, because we need to fix the potholes. We're doing the underground and we were doing the whole parking lot. So no, we didn't do that.
Okay, what is this utility ditch that I'm seeing referred to here?
That was a line that was dug from the east to the west of the building, from the wall to the building, and for a very long time it was never filled in at all, but that one has been fixed. And that's also on the east side of the building, towards the back.
Okay, is this electrical permit he's talking about impacting the other items?
Well, it shouldn't. I mean, there's a lot of lighting poles up there that do not work. But the city is still really concerned about the potholes. We would like to see them obtain a permit for that by the end of next cutoff, if possible. Now, the graffiti is a separate code. It's in compliance.
Thank you. Okay, so you want us to pull a separate permit for just the potholes? And I'm able to pull a permit for potholes, or is that something we just do?
We did a lot of potholes already. We had someone on site do a bunch of the potholes.
Well, apparently you're not
I thought
done.
they were all done, but we're
What's
not.
the answer to the question with regard to the permit for the potholes?
Most of the potholes still exist. Some of them that I went out and took photos of were too high, 6 inches, 8 inches. Some of them 6, 8 inches deep. So
Okay, do they need a permit for the potholes?
No.
You don't need a permit for the potholes. All right.
Okay, can you give me this?
All right,
Okay.
so looks like most of this all has to do with the parking lot.
Correct.
Okay. And from what I understand, the electrical permit does not, well, I guess it does impact the parking lot if they got lighting out there.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to wait on that permit, whether we like it or not. Now, in the meantime, you're telling me there are other Okay, does it make any sense to fix are they going to be replacing the parking lot?
They are.
That's
and
correct, sir.
That has been
Sorry.
a bit of the issue for a while, but the holes are so big that they have actually caused issues that have had people call City Hall over, and the depth of them is potential for damage and injury. It's in
These are potholes on their property?
Correct.
Mr. Verkelder, there's a school out there, as well as a large bingo hall, and they have several hundred people there throughout the week. So there's a lot of vehicle traffic.
You know, every time I see Mesa Nova, never mind. Okay. Okay. All right, guys, we got pothole problems that we got to fix post haste. What's the game plan?
Can I speak? Yeah, Your Honor, I'd like to take care of that next week if possible. I'll patch them all. I'll just take care of it just to end all this.
Okay. So we're going to take care of the potholes next week. We're awaiting the electrical permit. What more do we need to do?
I believe that's it on my end until the permit comes out to redo the whole parking plaza.
And where is that in the timeline?
There was a plot that was supposed to happen because there was change of owners. So the new owner, Mr. Brody, in front of us now, he's the new owner, and we're waiting for all the Mylar to get approved, I believe.
We finish that. We should. I think we'll have everything set in the next 2 weeks for that. I don't want to commit until it's done, but as far as in a list, the next 2 weeks we should have that finalized. Everything done, God willing.
All right, so we're probably not able to estimate when the electrical work will be in compliance at present, or are we?
Well, with the electrical poles that are existing, that's the permit that we put in for. That's going to get, I mean, I'm hoping that permit will come out, electricians on site the next day.
All right, so what do you tell me? Within 30 days, everything's done?
With the potholes that you saw there and the lighting from the permit, yes, I don't see an issue with that at all. 30 days would be fantastic.
Okay, what does that do for us in the way of compliance?
As long as it's recognized that the pothole repairs are temporary. They've tried it before, they've missed a lot of them, and so we need them all done.
Apparently, you got a lot of crappy pothole work out there.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing any argument.
No, I see the pictures. I was there on site painting. I saw it.
All right, well, somebody help me here. Within the next 30 days, what are we going to have accomplished?
We'll have, God willing, we'll have the permit for the electric out, so we get more lighting in that parking lot. and we'll have all those potholes taken care of.
All right? Then what's left to come into compliance after that?
That I won't know. The only thing I know are these two issues. We have a master plan to go in, but that's after the, new owners come through and all that, new set of permit applications be sent in, new set of plans for the whole plaza.
So
We
then,
have
why aren't I
landscaping.
just amending our current order of noncompliance to allow them to the next cutoff?
Perfect.
All right, then I will amend our current order of noncompliance to July 3, 2024, for the respondent to be in compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. Okay?
Sir, keeping in mind that that does not make a final on the parking lot itself. That's just a pothole fix.
So all I'm talking, well, let me back up and do this again. So what can we accomplish within the next 30 days? We're fixing the potholes and we're getting an electrical permit?
Correct. Compliance will be after they go through their big design, which is very nice, but it's going to take a lot of time to get to that point, I believe.
All right, so at most, I'm creating an interim order regarding specific items.
Correct.
Okay, let me amend that to say by June 5, 2024, I want the potholes repaired, or the respondent will be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. And then once you get your electrical permit, do you have any idea how long it's going to take to do the work?
No more than 3 days.
All right, and I'm going to schedule this matter for another progress report on July 9, 2024. Hopefully by then you will have your electrical permit. You might even have work underway. You might even have it done for all I know. And then I guess we'll take one more look at the overall compliance at that point in time. I don't know that we'll be able to set a date, but we'll at least be a little closer to it to take a look at it. So the main thing you're doing between now and our next progress report on July 9th is you're fixing those potholes by June 5th. All right?
Got it. Thank you, Jan.
All right, good luck to you.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
Case number 23, Edward E. Kemp III and Bobby C. Vaught. Anyone here for the respondent?
Why not? First notification,
Hang on a
July
second.
14th. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, excellent. Thank you.
Yes, sir. If you would state your name to be sworn.
Victor Van Lanker.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or confirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, this matter's here for the imposition of fine. What's your affiliation with the respondents?
My uncle and myself buy properties together in Daytona. I'm with also Ponce Inlet Builders that's repairing.
Okay, who's your uncle?
Bobby C. Vaught.
Okay, so
We
you're
bought-
here in conjunction or you're here for Mr. Vaught?
Yes.
All right, gotcha. Okay, imposition of a fine. What say the city?
First notification was July 14th. Since last hearing, I've had contact. The building is not occupied and there has been progress. Staff recommends a request to amend to the July 3rd cutoff for completion. This is the new owner and they're almost done.
Okay, what say the respondent?
I'm sorry?
He says they're proposing to amend your current order of noncompliance to extend it to July 3rd.
That's fine. We'll have, we just got the permit, two weeks ago. We've already torn one building completely apart, redid it, and we got this building tore apart. That'll be another 2 weeks probably, and then we'll paint it, and that's not even in the code, but we'll have it painted and everything cleaned. So yeah, no problem. It'll be
All
done.
right. I will amend our current order of noncompliance to allow the respondent until July 3, 2024 to come into compliance or be returned to the special magistrate for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day thereafter. All right, good luck to you.
All right, thank you. Thanks.
Case number 24, Hagden International College Incorporated.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Is it Mr. Nanu?
Miss.
Miss Nanu Paul and Mr. Max Paul.
Okay, we don't have a picture yet. All right. And your name?
Todd Versells. I'm the general contractor.
Okay. All right.
Can you state your name?
Todd Versells. Brassells.
I have yours. I need theirs now.
Nanu and Paul. Nanu Paul and Max Paul.
Okay. Everybody raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, this matter is here for the imposition of a fine. What say the city?
First notification was August 18th, 2023. Since last hearing, I've had contact. The building is not occupied and there has been progress. Staff requests to amend to a compliance date of January cutoff and a progress report of July 9th.
Did you say January in there somewhere?
Correct.
Yes, we're doing a complete renovation and restore. It's going to take some time.
So we're talking into next year?
At this point, I mean, I don't want to try to explain it, but my supervisor, Mr. Sykes, was with me on the last inspection, and he suggested January, based upon the extensive construction repairs that are going on.
Correct.
In fact, it affects going through the exterior wall to get the repairs done on the second floor. But to get into all this technical engineering stuff, Mr. Todd is definitely more versed than I am. But it is very extensive.
Yeah, the building is basically collapsing, and I'm trying to save it. We're having to do concrete structural repairs to the vertical columns and the horizontal bond beams and tie beams. I actually recommended that they demolish it and start over, but this is the route they chose to go. So we're restoring the building. So once I get the structural repairs done, which I already have a permit for, and we passed inspection yesterday for the first inspection on that. Once I get the structural repairs done, then we'll actually start rebuilding, in interior and exterior. We're going to replace all the windows with block and then just do like eyebrow windows at the top. So the building will have a completely different look when we're finished with it. And it's going to be nice. It's going to be a Daytona Beach landmark.
So we're looking at this project going well into next year then?
I would say January is a realistic date. I originally, when I spoke with the building inspector, I said, September, maybe December, but he suggested we go out to January just to avoid, more bureaucracy.
So what is anybody asking me to do right now? Obviously, no one's interested in imposing a fine, which is fine with me. So what am I doing?
Amending it to the January for a compliance date and a progress report July 9.
I think you're asking for the July progress report.
Yes.
In the next 60 days. Okay.
Imposing a January compliance date at this point in time, I guess it'd be pure guesswork.
Right. I understand.
Okay. Then that's not to say I won't impose one. I'm just not comfortable doing it right now. So we will continue this matter to the July 9, 2024 meeting for
Okay.
another progress report.
Okay.
And at that point in time, you can fill us in on what all's been accomplished. And when the time comes that we think we can reasonably arrive at a compliance date that both parties believe is something that can happen, then
Right.
we'll establish a compliance date. I'm assuming the work that's being undertaken goes well beyond the original notice of violation.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. And so that then means until they're done with all their remodeling, they're not in compliance?
Correct.
You understand that?
I do.
Very good. Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Good luck, folks.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank
Thanks so
you.
much.
Thanks so
Thanks.
much.
All right, I believe we are now on to lien reviews. Lien Review 1, El Dorado Property Holdings LLC, 427 North Caroline Street. Is there anyone here for the respondent?
Apparently Gonzalo is.
Yeah, they have an agreement.
Good morning.
Good morning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, sir, your name?
Gonzalo Diaz.
Raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right. Now, before I get into it, have there been any communications between the parties in an effort to resolve this matter?
Yes, sir. We have an agreement.
You have an agreement.
Yes, sir.
That sounds good. What's the agreement?
We're going to reduce it to $500, payable in 30 days.
All right. Is that agreeable to you?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then, based upon the stipulation of the parties, I will agree to reduce the fine and lien imposed in this matter to the sum of $500, subject to that being paid within 30 days.
Correct.
If it's not paid within 30 days, it stays the way it is.
Correct.
All right? Is that all I need to do on this one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Lien review number 2, Doran Neeson Trust, 1915 North Atlantic Avenue. Anyone here for the respondent? Yes, sir, if you would please state your name and be sworn.
Doran Nassim.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
What is your last name again?
Nassim.
All right, first off, have the parties discussed any resolution of this matter?
We have.
And has any agreement been reached?
Yes, we agreed to reduce it to $12,000.
All right, is that your agreement, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. Then pursuant to the stipulation between the parties, I'm going to order that the fine and lien in this matter be reduced to the sum of $12,000, subject to being paid within 30 days. If it's not paid within 30 days, it remains the way it is.
Yes, sir.
All right. And
Thank you.
Is that as much as I need to tell this gentleman at this point in time? Very good. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Lien review number 3. Genea International Corporation, Mason Quick Stop, Sarisha Gadaparty. Is there anyone here for the respondent?
Supposed to be here, but
We've already met with them. So.
yeah.
Do we have an agreement?
Yes, sir, we do.
What's the agreement?
We've met with Mr. Gaddy Party, and we have agreed to reduce the fine from $13,750 to the sum of $4,000.
Given the absence of Mr. Gadaparty and the fact that I will have to pass on the reasonableness of this myself, what'd you base that on?
Mr. Gaddy Party bought the property from the previous owner. The property was in pretty bad shape. They redid the parking lot. They redid the whole building as you see it right now, and it's continuously being maintained. Before it was an eyesore on Mason, but now it's no longer.
I understand. Very good. All right, based upon the inspector's testimony, I am ordering that the fine, lien in this matter be reduced to the sum of $4,000, subject to being paid within 30 days. If it's not paid within 30 days, the existing fine and lien will remain in effect. Is that all I need to do on this one?
Yes, sir.
Lien review number 4, Henley Corporation Incorporated, Roger Bronk, 404 Seabreeze Boulevard.
State your name.
Roger Brock,
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, first off, have there been any negotiations between the parties on this?
Yes, sir.
Has any resolution been reached?
Yes, sir. The staff has met with the respondent and have agreed to reduce the lien from 1,900 to 500 and present this to the special magistrate as our recommendation.
All right, is that your agreement, Mr. Bronk?
Yes, it is.
All right, based upon the agreement of the parties, I will order that the fine and lien in this matter be reduced to the sum of $500, subject to being paid within 30 days.
Yes,
Please
sir.
be advised, if it's not paid within 30 days, then it remains as is.
Understand.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
I'm going to help you out.
Case number 5, Joy M. Brown, Marie Adonis, 634 Cannon Street. Anyone?
Ms. Adonis sent an email, and it is in your packet, that she agreed to the stipulation. I got your email.
All right. Mr. Inspector, we have an agreement to reduce the fine and lien to the sum of $2,000?
No, sir.
No.
Let me let the supervisor.
No, actually, it
Wait.
should be waived. You should have an email from the respondent in your packet.
I thought that's what I was looking at.
Hold on.
Marie Adonis?
Yeah.
The lot is in full compliance as of 3/8/2004 based on case number. City of Daytona Beach and myself made an agreement to pay $2,000.
No, the email.
Email.
I'm sorry, what you're looking at is last month, I put it on the agenda, and we made an agreement with her. I since then found this old lien, and it's a 2008 lien, and we were requesting to waive the lien as part of, so she could finish paying off what was already ordered. So this one, we're just requesting it be waived.
Okay. Based upon the request by the city, I'm ordering that the fine and lien in this matter which I understand to be, is it $32,587.92? Am I reading that correctly?
Yes.
All right? And that's the fine and lien that I'm waiving.
Yes, sir. It's a really old lien, and the interest was included on that.
Okay. Then, based upon, as per the city's request, I will order that that fine and lien in that amount be waived. And I'm presuming then that the city will file whatever it needs to file in order to cancel the lien.
Right.
Very good. Okay. Now, do we have any other business to be brought before the special magistrate?
No, I don't think so.
Good, let me ask a question. Lien review number 1, we reduced it to $500. Why did we do that?
Which one?
Number 1?
El Dorado Property Holdings LLC. Was it Mr. Diaz?
when it was actually filed.
I was just curious.
Yeah, but I want to. I had my notes when we met with him.
It's not that big a deal. Okay, do we have any new business to be brought before the special magistrate?
Sir.
All right, we're adjourned.